Hello, and welcome to the Marginal Mind Matters podcast, presented by me, Siobhan Henry, and produced by Karen Westman. If you're joining us for the first time, Marginal Mind Matters, also known as Margins, is a registered not-for-profit company, and our approach is to help marginalized groups cope with the inner suffering of social exclusion through self-help and support groups. So what is social exclusion? Well, the great majority of people in the world are socially excluded. And social exclusion is referred to by many names, and marginalization is just one. And that is why we call ourselves margins. Social exclusion is being treated unequally because of your race, gender, class, caste, sexual orientation, religion, or nationality. Social exclusion shapes how we think and feel, and if we are not aware that we are excluded, then we can't face our thoughts or feelings, and we can't do anything about it. Discrimination forces us into social exclusion, and the systems of prejudice tell us every day that that is where we belong and that is where we should stay. So the Marginal Mind Matters podcast is about showing the socially excluded that we can escape social exclusion and achieve the lives we want. But we need to face the inner struggle of social exclusion before we can do that. So our mission at Marginal Mind Matters is to help empower one socially excluded person at a time in the hope that we will eventually lift all of society. Each week we will choose one emotion that relates to the internal struggle of being socially excluded, and we will do 4 things. First, we will define what the emotion is. Second, we will explain what purpose this emotion serves in society. Third, we will explain what happens when we feel this emotion. And lastly, we will explain how to free ourselves from that emotion. In this podcast, we will be discussing waiting. So what is waiting? Waiting is the action of staying where one is or delaying action until a particular point in time or event. The socially excluded have a wonderful sense of patience, and we spend a large part of our lives waiting. People make promises to us, and we are quick to believe, and we wait for these promises to be kept. I have seen many young marginalized people with large bright eyes and hearts full of hope grow into old people, still waiting, still hoping. So why do we wait? The answer is because society has trained us to believe that we are not capable of doing things ourselves, and that opportunity can only come from outside. So we wait for those who wronged us to pay reparations. We wait for the state that took away our homes to build us a home. We wait for our friends and relatives who are better off than us to improve our lives. We're going to break for some music, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the role of waiting in society.
I'm drawn in, passionately. It's part of me.
What role does waiting play in society? Well, it disempowers us. We are left standing in the same place when we could be moving forward. And what we need to understand about false promises is that their intention is to keep us standing still. It is meant to take time away from us, and time is about the most precious resource we have on this earth. We are quick to forgive those who break their promises to us, but we should be less quick to forgive ourselves, because in waiting we voluntarily surrender our lives and our dreams to others. We're going to break again for some music, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the effect of waiting. So what is the effect of waiting on marginalized society? Well, waiting steals our youth, our talents, our capabilities, and the will to make our own dreams come true. We become dependent on others when we should only be dependent on ourselves. We become passive bystanders rather than active participants in our lives. Those who promise us jobs or opportunities ask us to close our eyes when the most spectacular things are happening in the world around us. The fact is that if people have any intention of doing something, they will. They won't need to promise. So when we wait, we miss out on the best chances of our lives. We're going to break again for some music, and when we come back, we'll be discussing how to free ourselves from waiting. So how do we free ourselves from waiting? Well, the Taoists have a saying, 30 spokes unite in one nave, And the space, the hole on which the nave depends, is what makes it useful. Clay is molded into a vessel, and the vessel's utility is based on its hollowness. By cutting out doors and windows, the empty space becomes a house. Therefore, it is emptiness that leads to usefulness. It is non-existence that gives way to existence. It is the emptiness within each one of us, emptiness arising from our pain and our poverty, that makes us useful. So how will we use that emptiness? Will we fill it with unattainable dreams, false promises and hopes? Will we fill it with waiting? Or will we fill it with a well-lived life? The best way to live our lives is to stop waiting. Stop waiting for doors to be opened to us, but realizing that all the doors lead to ourselves, to the awareness that every hope and dream and passion that we have ever had is waiting for us to materialize them into existence, and we have every capability to make that possible. There are no teachers, prophets, or miracle makers on this earth who are coming to save us. Only we can save ourselves. So the person that you are waiting for is actually you. Thanks for joining us on this podcast on waiting, and we hope you'll join us again next time. Thanks and goodbye.
Always fine lines between us, they say nowadays don't mean much. Cross an anchor in the sand, what we did, but my ship says sail, and I'm here to tell that I don't mean like the others, and I keep searching, and I can't seem to find what I'm wanting. It's changing all the time, and if you notice a different side of mine, then I found what I've been looking for. 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 Should I wait? Should I stay to see it unfold? 'Cause I'm told I need it. I'm not frightened to take a step away, but my ship says sail, and I'm here to tell that I don't mean like the others, and I keep searching, and I can't seem to find what I'm wanting. It's changing all the time, and if you notice a different side of mine, then I found what I've been looking for. 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 I've been running round, running round, running round. Now I'm down and out, down and out, down and out. Scared the magic might fade away. I keep searching, and I can't seem to find what I'm wanting. It's changing all the time, and if you know